Hey everyone, welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all of the latest news from the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today is AMC Movie News editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Stream.tv. We had such a good day yesterday. Let's do it again today.
Yeah. Also here, writer-director Jon Schnepp.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. Tuesday morning.
Ooh.
Yeah. Also here, film critic for JoeBlow.com, Jimmy O.
See, I'm not going to follow that up. I just can't.
Follow it up.
Yeah. I keep thinking that Cowboy Junkie song. It's sun comes up Tuesday morning,
That's
so I'm
legit
mellow.
too.
I need energy.
Good start, good start.
Amy Rose, you got a couple of tidbits you want to add?
Yes, before we get into the main news today, a couple other items kind of broke. One was regarding Jason Sudeikis possibly becoming the new Fletch, obviously made famous by the Chevy Chase. So if that is all true, which it kind of sounds like it's going to happen, and word on the street is it would be a prequel to the events, would you guys be interested in that premise?
I think you said it best. Let's make it. Why not just call it a reboot?
Yeah.
I think that's really all you need. I don't know why you need to do a prequel. I'm curious. I like him.
Yeah.
Like the guy, but
Yeah, I think, we were talking about it right before the show. It's like, why is it a prequel? Why isn't it just like, now Sudeikis is Fletch?
Yeah.
It's gonna, like, let's just move along and there's a brand new Fletch. Are they gonna, if it's a prequel, then they have to do all this costuming and like pre-80s. Like, it's just weird to me. So I'm glad that Sudeikis is gonna be Fletch. Let's just leave it at that.
And I mean, their hope is to make it a franchise. Maybe this is to not, I don't know, keep it fresh. I don't know. I don't think it's done in stone either. It's not like the script is finished.
Right,
it sounds like it's in the works. Kevin Smith was originally supposed to direct it,
Right,
which he's
I
not
remember that,
anymore.
long
So
time ago.
I don't know, but I love Jason Sudeikis. I think he's really talented. He's got comedy. He also has a lot of heart. And yeah, I'm a big fan of him. So it is an interesting tidbit. But Chevy Chase obviously has, leaves some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
The number 2 item, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. You guys, I literally saw this film last night. I got home, I did not know what to do with myself. I loved this movie so much. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I want you to live it firsthand, all its magic and glory. But I tell you right now that this film is spectacular. The action sequences are, if not the best we've ever seen in any Marvel film. The battle scenes are intimate and complex. The character moments are fabulous. Chris Evans has never been better. The Falcon's amazing. Everything about this movie, I loved it. And they give fans little tidbits about this universe expanding, drop in little characters that you hope are coming and you think they are. So I literally cannot say enough about this film. It might be now my favorite film in the MCU. Wow. So I really have to still marinate on it, but I came out of that film and I was like a kid on Christmas. I was just like, oh my God, what just happened? I feel like I'm still glowing from the magic. So I really don't think you guys are gonna be disappointed. I really think all the hype is worth it. And Disney's letting us talk about the film, which means they have confidence in it, as they should. Bravo, Kevin Feige, bravo, Joe and Anthony Russo, everyone, I love this film. I cannot wait for you all to see it so we can really talk about it.
But how many secret endings are there?
yeah.
There's 2 end credit scenes, which I will not tell you again as well. And there are some sites, some outlets leaking all that information. If you want to find out, you can find out from them, but not from me. All right, now to the main news. But yes, Captain America Winter Soldier, we can't wait. Oh, and on that note, we might have a very special guest from the film on the show on Friday. So more details to come. But yeah, can't wait. All right, Miss Ashley.
Alrighty. After Timothy Dalton exited the series and Pierce Brosnan became the new James Bond in the early 1990s, several other actors were up for the most famous super spy. One name in the mix was Liam Neeson. While he certainly still went on to become a successful action star, Neeson recently spoke out about the potential role. He stated, "I was heavily courted, let's put it that way, and I'm sure some other actors were too. It was about 18 or 19 years ago, and my wife-to-be, Natasha Richardson, said, "If you play James Bond, we're not getting married." And I had to take that on board because I did want to marry her. Amy Rose, would you have liked to have seen Neeson as James Bond?
I really liked that actually because that's the voice I heard in my head. Who doesn't want their husband to be James Bond?
Right.
I mean, give me a break. Be supportive. That is like the hottest, most incredible role you could ever play. So
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But hey, Liam Neeson is just as cool as it gets. He really is. And I think he would have been a great Bond. He is a great action star. We've seen that again and again. He is suave. I liked Pierce, but I didn't really believe him as a badass as much. He had more of the suave, and that's why I think I like Daniel Craig so much.
Right.
Because he is a lady killer, you believe it, and you also believe that he could seriously do some damage. So he is both sides of what I like.
Right.
Sean Connery had that as well to me.
Yeah.
And I think Liam Neeson, look at that. I think Liam Neeson would have been fantastic. And again, I'm happy, they all have been such different incarnations of the character. But yeah, it's Liam Neeson. Even in a Lego movie, he's fantastic. So
Right.
he can do anything. What do you think, Jimmy?
I agree completely. I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I can totally understand why she'd be like, you know what? No, because all your time is gonna be to that. I mean, you can see how much time Daniel Craig has devoted to the role, but yeah, oh man, he would have been great. I'm happy with Daniel Craig though. I think they made a wise choice.
It would have been in the 90s, though.
Yeah. Oh,
For
okay.
Pierce.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Did you like
then,
Pierce?
Yeah. No, I would have given Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Shep?
I liked Pierce when they finally announced it, but that was because of all the hubbub about him previously being picked to be James Bond, and then Remington Steele kept him for an extra jacked season, then
Yeah.
they canceled it. So they kind of screwed his whole career. So you're like, it was one of those like, man, he would have been a cool James Bond, I guess. Then when he finally got to be James Bond, I was like, oh, dreams do come true. He's James Bond. And they weren't, the Pierce Brosnan James Bonds don't suck. They're fun.
They're fun.
It just started to get it got more Roger Moore at the last couple, like whatever, the Die Another Day in
Yeah.
Ice or whatever.
The one
that
with the Madonna was
Ice
yeah.
Let's not
Brigade
talk
or
about
whatever.
that one.
Yeah, let's try to forget that.
Snow Angels in Ice with dogs and guns. Let's not talk about that one. But yeah, Liam Neeson, he would have been the Daniel Craig version.
Yeah.
But like 12 years earlier.
With
like
his
the thug.
voice.
Yeah, he's kind of thuggish. You know what I mean? He's not like the extra suave, James Bond.
Yeah.
He's more like the brutish shaved ape James Bond. Like that, attracted to women yet can obviously kill 7 dudes with bare hands without guns.
Yes.
So
He's
yeah.
acquired a particular set of skills.
That's right. I could see him doing all of his Taken stuff as James Bond.
Yeah.
Someone please edit together a special reel with the James Bond music score of Liam Neeson doing all of his Taken stuff.
And then
So-
just throw Schnepp's head on him and let's call it a
Let's
day.
not
Yeah,
do that. Let's not do that.
No, I think you're the big star, man.
All right, what's next?
Over the weekend, Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, appeared at Wizard World in Sacramento and was asked about the upcoming Avengers Age of Ultron. He confirmed filming begins in London in 2 months and is expected to last 4 months. On the script, he stated, "Everything in Avengers is ramped up, though. It kind of blew me away reading it. I don't know how Joss does it, but everyone has just gone up another notch, and the whole thing is bigger and more insane and crazy. Yeah, he's a genius." Schnepp, what do you make of Hemsworth's comments?
Well, I can't wait for the Captain America movie, and now obviously we're going to have to wait another year for the Avengers, but just that they're filming in the next couple weeks is really exciting. I think that getting Joss Whedon was really like somebody just like a stroke of genius. Like his ability to tell stories and his nerdiness, just knowing what a fan he is of the original source material of all the comic books, both DC, Marvel, and all comics in general. When he finally came on board to do the Avengers, I was like, it's gonna rock.
Yeah.
And that it rocked even harder than I thought it would
Yeah.
is amazing. So when I hear something like that from Hemsworth, I'm really excited because that means all the characters, you don't have to do any origin stuff. The Avengers they're already a team. There's gonna be multiple platforms of storylines going on and it'll all converge with Ultron. So it's really exciting. I can't say enough about how excited I am about
Yeah.
the Avengers.
That seems so excited.
Yeah, I'm very,
I can feel the excitement
Can
from
I
here.
say
man.
I'm very excited? What do you mean?
Jimmy, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing. It doesn't seem like they're slowing down right now. Obviously, with Captain America, we're hearing nothing but amazing things about it. And I mean, I keep thinking the Avengers bigger. Wow, I'm really stoked about. I love what Joss Whedon brings to it. I love the script. I just think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. That's what a Marvel movie should be.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, Chris Hemsworth is not known for blowing things up like this either.
Yeah.
So to me, that really holds, you know, a lot of truth to it, because he's just like, how did this just keep getting better and better? And I obviously just went off and geeked out about Captain America, how amazing it is, and it is. And you know, Avengers is still up there because it's the ensemble all together. So just the chemistry and the different characters, and it's magic. But as a standalone, this is a whole other thing. And you know, we learned that Captain America, the events would lead directly into Age of Ultron. So put a fork in me. I'm done. I just love what they're doing here, and Chris Hemsworth is such a great Thor, and Joss Whedon. I mean, we know what he can do,
Yeah.
and the stakes are even bigger in this one. So yeah, they just it's
So
on.
when you say the stakes are bigger, like he said, that makes me imagine like in the first Avengers, it was an alien apocalypse.
Yes.
Like aliens coming out of a wormhole, endless, like some weird worm creature
Yeah.
destroying New York, and now the stakes are higher. So all I can imagine, and you have a god of thunder. That's he's literally a god, and Loki was in the first movie. So
Yeah.
now the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
It just makes me think like a bunch of Ultrons, like what, you know, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on, basically. It is on.
Can't
All
wait.
right, guys, we have now reached the buy or sell portion of the show. Miss Ashley is going to read off a couple other items going on in the world of movie news, and we're simply going to say if we buy or sell it.
Horror fans, this one's for you. Producer Jason Blum just confirmed that the screenplays for both Insidious Chapter 3 and Sinister 2 have been completed. Lee Whannell penned the third Insidious installment, and C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson wrote the latter. Jimmy, buy or sell the completion of these two scripts?
I've got to say, I do buy it. You know, horror fans are kind of glutton for punishment, because no matter what, if it's Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Goes to Manhattan, generally we'll still go see it and we'll still be excited about it and be horribly disappointed. But I think the Insidious 2 grew on me. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but it grew on me, and I really grew to appreciate it. I'm just a little nervous because I like that story. I like the story with the family, bringing a new family in. I'm not totally sold on, but I do think Sinister. I think there's some nice little eerie worlds that they could open up with that story. It's a really creepy idea. Just bring that score back. That's what I want.
Right?
The score was amazing.
Yeah, us being music heads, of
Yes.
course, we would notice that.
Buy it.
I buy it as well. You know, I'm always championing, as I say, Insidious 2. Insidious 1 was great. Insidious 2, I always coin the term deliciously weird, because that's what it was.
Yes.
It was a mesh of all these different genres. We know horror is our thing. I really liked it. I love that Lee Whannell is back, because he wrote
Yes.
the first two. It does, you know, worry me a little that James Wan's not directing it, because I loved the tone he
Yeah.
set. But because Lee is still involved, I haven't given up on it. I would have liked Patrick Wilson and all them to be involved as well. But you know, the story's interesting, and they've hit it 2 for 2 for me so far. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. In terms of Sinister, I agree. I thought there was something really cool in that formula, and it has a lot of room to go on with the story. So I'm in for now. Schnapp?
For me, it's a buy and a sell. I buy Insidious 3, and keeping Lee Whannell is a great idea. For me, Insidious 1, I loved the beginning and absolutely hated the end with the weird red goblin dude. I hated it.
Yeah, I see
hated
that.
it. Second movie, I didn't like the beginning, and I only watched it because all you guys were like, you got to see Insidious, it's so weird. Insidious 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll see it.
Yeah.
Didn't like the beginning, and then I loved where it went.
Oh,
It
yeah.
got super
Absolutely.
weird. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
how freakish Patrick Wilson
How
brought
good
his
was
Jack
he?
Nicholson
Oh,
Shining
yeah.
A game.
It was so
like-
much fun.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it got really fun and strange. So I really liked Insidious 2. With Sinister, it was also where I saw it at Fantastic Fest, where everyone was like, "Are you ready to see the most scariest
I
movie
hate when they do
ever?"
that.
Yeah.
And then I saw it, and to be honest with you, I thought the beginning was great. There's a great scene with the Super 8 films and all this creepy stuff. But once they introduced the boogeyman, he basically looks like a death metal, you know, a brutal dude with some white face, and the weird creepy children running around. I started laughing. I was not scared. I was like,
Yeah.
actually like, wow, when can I leave?
Oh.
And I'm the opposite of everyone I've talked to. A lot of people love Sinister, but for me, I absolutely hated it. So
No.
I'm happy for those guys' success. I just don't look forward to the Sinister 2. So that's
Got
all.
it.
Got it.
All right, what's next?
Before J.J. Abrams was attached to helm, Jon Favreau was rumored to direct Star Wars Episode 7. At South by Southwest, he recently spoke out about it, saying, "I didn't go after it, but it's one of those things that, as people would say they weren't going to do it, and as there were questions coming my way as to my availability, I was really scared of the idea that nobody was going to do it. And so if they had come to me, I don't know how you say no to that thing." Amy Rose, buy or sell the notion of Favreau directing Star Wars Episode 7?
I love Jon Favreau. I think he's not only a good director, a good actor, but just like a good human being. But I'm gonna sell it. I'm really happy that J.J. Abrams is directing it. I think that he really understands the property. He understands what a large undertaking this is.
Yeah.
And I personally really liked what he did with Star Trek. I know a lot of people were a little mixed on Into Darkness, but I thought he did a good job with keeping the source material, but also bringing it to this new generation. And I think someone like that needs to bring Star Wars up to speed for where we're at now, especially since it's not the prequels and they can go to, just expand on our galaxy far, far away. So I love Favreau, but I'm pleased with the decision we have. Schnepp?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like buying it, like that he's not the director. I mean, I think Favreau is really talented. I mean, he's had one stinker so far, Zarathustra, which I really didn't like. But I mean, all of his other films are great. His Iron Mans are great. I liked Iron Man 2. A lot of people bum on it. I think it's still a really fun film. And he also almost did John Carter, Warlord of Mars. I mean, he's a science fiction and fantasy fan. He's a nerd. So it's like, I think he would have done a great job on Star Wars. But I am actually glad that J.J. Abrams took over, because he's obviously a bigger Star Wars fan. At least in my eyes, he's going to do something, and he's also got a really good grasp on storytelling.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
Without the MacGuffin, we don't need the the blind mystery box. He knows that. I don't think he's going to be doing mystery box theater with Star Wars. So, yeah, I buy it.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah, no, I basically everything you guys said is correct. I like Favreau, and I think he's a good director. I actually liked Iron Man 2 as well, but I just don't know if he would be the right fit for Star Wars. I don't see him fitting. But hey, he's definitely look what he did for Iron Man. So you never know. But I'm happy with Abrams.
Yeah.
Me
too. All around the horn.
Yeah.
What's next?
The first clip has been released for Darren Aronofsky's biblical epic Noah. The film stars Russell Crowe as a man who suffers a vision of an apocalyptic flood and takes extreme measures to protect his family and innocent creatures. Schnepp, buy or sell this first clip?
I'm going to sell it. It felt really weird to me. It was really cutty. It kept cutting from like Noah and then awkward cuts to everybody. It felt like a TV movie. So the first clip that they're showing is just, to me, really disappointing. I'm obviously going to go see it. I'm a big Aronofsky fan. But to be honest with you, that clip that they showed, without me even knowing anything about it, feels like studio meddling. I don't know. It just already felt weird. So
Yeah, you really shared my sentiments exactly. Like, I love Aronofsky. I think he's a brilliant filmmaker, and he's in a similar vein as Fincher to me, where he's not afraid to go really weird and like just kind of dance to his own rhythm. And I really appreciate that in a filmmaker, having their own distinctive style. But everything I've heard about that clip, it did not excite me.
Yeah.
It was for your first real clip. The trailer was better.
Yeah.
The clip, I don't even know what it's leading
digging
up.
out in some dirt, we're going to build an ark. I'm
it's
like, what?
I love dirt.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that, but it doesn't mean I'm not excited for the movie still, but I'm questioning the marketing techniques up to this point for now.
We gotta stop agreeing. No, I'm not really looking forward to the movie. I mean, I want to like it. I want to be excited for it, but for some reason, that clip it did feel like something that you'd see on Hallmark Channel or something like that. It looked pretty, but and she's way too hot to be in that role. No offense, but I can't imagine her being that pretty in real life.
Aww.
But you know what? When
I'm sorry.
your first clip of a movie shouldn't be a typical 3-camera setup shot where it's shot. It just felt like that, and it was too cutty.
Yeah.
I would have stayed on Russell Crowe for a lot longer. I was an editor in my previous early 10 years of doing professional work. I edited tons of stuff. So for me to see something that choppy, immediately like stunk of some kind of interference. And to be honest with you, it really bothers me on a core level that you hire someone like Aronofsky to do, you know, basically for all intents a fairy tale, Noah's Ark, and you're not going to let him get weird with one of the weirdest stories ever.
Yeah.
There were 2 animals of each thing. I don't care what your beliefs are. That's
Yeah.
weird. Sorry. Both skunks walked on their own accord up into the Ark. It's goofy. So if you're going to have a serious filmmaker take a crack at it, let him go with his weird vision,
Yeah.
you know?
That does worry me that they, you know, they showed it to as audiences early on, and then they're kind of like, well, he has a vision and we have a vision, the studio heads. And it's just like, if you're going to hire a guy like Aronofsky,
Right.
let him do Aronofsky.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's religious groups who do their own films.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
a
We
religious
just had
group.
Son of God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying you don't ask a religious group, what do you think of this guy's
Of
version
course.
of what you think?
Yeah.
Your mind group think.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
I still have hope, though. I mean, it is 1 minute.
Yeah.
It just didn't excite. And
But a
again, the
boring
trailer.
minute.
It was
Yeah.
a little.
Rele-
Yeah, I was
release
like,
a- yeah.
I was like, okay, is this almost over? Oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
really.
fine. Yeah, really.
Release a better minute.
Yeah,
is my
absolutely.
suggestion.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Before we get to mailbag, I just want to let you know we love taking your user-submitted questions, but it's down in the studio right now. So we're going to try to work through that, and if we can, we're going to take them. But if we can't, please forgive us. We love you. Okay, now on to mailbag. Miss Ashley has a couple user-submitted questions picked out. What's on the floor for today?
LeVar Anthony writes, I was probably about 11 or 12 when Hook came out, and I loved it. Still do. But I noticed it had a 6.6 on IMDb, and then noticed the critics at the time basically hated it. Why was it so panned by the critics at the time? In fact, most people I know and spark a conversation about Hook with all love it. Where's the hate?
Beats me. I loved Hook. I loved Hook. Dustin Hoffman was amazing. Robin Williams, he's has a little smug on his face, so I think he's about to dream crush it up in here. But I thought it was magical, and maybe it's my generation, but I really love when they take a story that we know and change it a little bit, like the Wicked effect, and bring it up to this generation. I thought it was charming, I thought it was magical, and I love that story, and I think a lot of people can relate to that of not wanting to ever grow up. So I share your sentiments. I kind of am getting looks from this side of the table, so they might be in that percentage that crush our dreams. Go ahead, Schnapp.
I hated Hook.
Oh!
I absolutely hated Hook. Sorry, it's not like I got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. It's just the way things are rolling. The best thing that I can say about Hook is that they took Robin Williams and dipped him in some kind of weird hairless solution, and then he came out with no hair on his body.
Yeah.
'Cause he's the hairiest dude I've ever seen in my life.
That's what bothered you
No,
about it?
that's the thing that I liked about it. No, I'm just saying, I remember seeing it. I was a little kid, and I was like, wow, I'm bored out of my skull. I didn't like it. I felt it was an awkward fit, and I never saw it again. So maybe in my adult life, I should see Hook again. But when I saw it when I was a kid, I did not like it.
Aww.
I
Jimmy?
just don't think that was in my wheelhouse. I was, you know, honestly, I saw when I was younger, and I don't even remember it. It just left no impression on me at all.
It was stilted. There was a
Yeah.
lot of stilted. It was like,
Yeah.
here's our next set piece, da-da-da, and then like,
Rufio, come on. Ashley, did you like Hook?
When did Hook come out?
What?
When did
What?
it
she was not born yet, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
She did not exist
Okay.
yet. Her parents
We're
had not
gonna,
met.
we're gonna nip this right here. What's the next question?
Yugi Moto writes, why do people hate CGI so much? Sometimes when I ask a person why they hate a movie or trailer, for example, the TASM2 trailers, they just say too much CGI. Is that enough of a reason? I ask you. Isn't the story more important? Aren't they just nitpicking? Isn't the CGI just eye candy to go along with the story?
I think that's a really good and insightful question, especially at the age of technology and advancements that we're at right now. I mean, I just think it comes down to consumers being a lot smarter than we used to be,
Right.
and also having expectations that are a lot higher than we used to be. Because if it's really bad CGI or too much, I think it takes away from the magic. I prefer practical effects, or at least to make it seamless. Does it detract from my enjoyment? Sometimes. It doesn't make me hate a movie unless it's so cheesy. So, I mean, I really do think that just where we're at, there's a right blending. I mean, look at all these Marvel movies. Of course, they're CGI, but there's also practical effects.
What?
And they actually see. I'm sorry.
CGI?
I don't want to crush the dream.
Man.
But you know, it's a combination of the two, and to me, that's where we should be at, because it does take away from some of the magic. I mean, you look at some of the older films that really had none, and they still stand today,
Right.
hold up today. So I know that you work with films a lot. What's your thought on it?
Yeah, bad CGI ruins films, not only when you go see them right off the bat, but for years to come. Like, you can't go see The Scorpion King with The Rock, because they never finished the texture map, and they were even admitted it when it came out. Yeah, the texture map, we didn't have time to finish rendering it. So it looked bad when you saw it in the theater. There's movies like Men in Black 2 and 3 that just have so much CGI and bad CGI that it ruins the film.
Well, he mentions, shouldn't it be storytelling? Of course it should be storytelling, but a lot of times they have all that CGI, and it does replace the storytelling. They're trying so hard to show you all these cool things that they kind of lack on the script a little bit.
Yeah.
And I absolutely.
A perfect example for good, seamless CGI storytelling where you don't know that even almost 95% of the movie that you saw was completely artificial is Gravity. Gravity was a movie that even the spacesuits that they wore weren't real. They put CGI enhancement, the dome glass, everything about them was rendered. And it's a fantastic, amazing, seamless film when you see it, because the best CGI is invisible. You don't know. The best CGI that you see now is when somebody walks out of their apartment and crosses the street, and you don't realize that entire thing was shot green screen.
Yeah.
That's
Wait, they weren't in space.
That's right.
I'm pissed.
I
am
know. They weren't
pissed.
pissed.
This is
Alfonso.
like the dream breaking. It's just breaking everyone's heart.
You know who used really good CGI? Is The Hunger Games, the last one.
Yes.
I thought that was
absolutely.
really good. I mean, the Utopia and everything about it, it felt seamless. Some of it was real and shot on location, and some of it was CGI, and that's the combination. I mean, yeah, we're too smart.
Well, it's a suspension of disbelief in our day and age now, where every kid knows about graphics and they're on the computer. So we all know way more than we did 10, 20 years ago. So, now it's upping that game.
I would be curious to see how many of people watching right now are prefer practical.
Right.
I wonder if that's just an age thing. I mean, I love practical. So
Practical mixed with CG is the ultimate. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got a couple questions about the Sin City trailer, and I know you guys addressed it when I wasn't on the show last time, but I guess a couple people missed it. So since it doesn't look like we're going to be able to take live questions, since apparently Twitter is down. How dare you, Twitter? Let's talk about that for a second. Jimmy, what did you think of the Sin City trailer?
I'm stoked. Actually, we were talking about that before because I have this massive love for Ava Green. I think it looks cool. I was kind of a little nervous about it, but now I'm sold completely. I love the cast. I love the new additions. It just looks so much fun.
Yeah, Shump, what were your thoughts on it again?
Well, yeah, being an incredible Sin City fanatic, owning every single original comic book and all the hardcovers. When I first saw the first Sin City movie, I loved it, and then they came out with the separate the deluxe director's cut, where each story was told in their own hour-long format. So I'm secretly I love the trailer. Absolutely. The only irritating thing is that it's taken this long to make Sin City 2. It's 9 years? 9 years. How many years is it? It's too many.
Yeah.
The next one better come out in 3 years, or I'm coming for you, Miller.
Ooh.
And Rodriguez. I know where you live. You're in Austin somewhere. I thought it looked fantastic, and I can't wait to see even more. Obviously, this was just the very first trailer, so it's a little tease. Ava Lord, Eva Green, the best casting. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I need to see more of her in the film.
Yeah.
They're holding back because it's why show all this amazing stuff?
Yeah.
They're just little tidbits. So I'm really excited about it.
Two of my favorite graphic novels ever, V for Vendetta and Sin City. And I love what they did with the first film. Obviously, not Frank Miller directing, Robert Rodriguez, I know co-directing, but really.
Right.
But what he created is such a beautiful world. And I love the style. It's vibrant and it's explosive. And Ava Lord, Ava Green, she was the best part of 300.
Yes.
She's already stunning, but with all those effects that illuminate their features anymore, with the huge lips and the green eyes, I'm just and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean, all the additions.
Right.
I'm so excited. And I was worried this film wasn't actually going to come to us.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Same here. And I heard Mickey Rourke was being weird about playing Marv again, and just to see that shot of the glass. I mean, most of those images are straight out of the comics. So to see those and having them burned in into my brain at first from the comic book, and then to see them come to life is literally like a dream come true. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like, Ashley, were there any questions submitted?
Twitter's down for maintenance.
In the chat
and
board, you guys probably listened to us when we were trying to push everyone to Twitter. So we appreciate that, but unfortunately we can't take any today. But we appreciate your patience, and hopefully we gave you enough goodness to tide you over with AMC Movie Talk today. So we're gonna cut the show right here. Thank you again so much for joining us. We always have a blast with you. I would like to thank my wonderful panel of gentlemen today. Sitting to my right, Jimmy O from Joe Blow. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Jimmy to the O, and on Facebook, of course, as well. And Joe Blow and Arrow in the Head.
Yes. Director and good friend, AMC Movie Talk crew member, Jon Schnapp. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram. Well, you can't find me at Twitter right now because it's down. Yeah. But in a couple hours, check it out. Friend me. What's up? Twitter, Instagram. I post a lot of weird pictures. Jon Schnapp. Well, bye.
Yes. Bye, Jon Schnapp. The lovely Ashley Mova. Where can people find you in a couple hours?
In a couple of hours, you guys can find me on Twitter at Ashley Mova. Have a good one, guys.
And I am Amy Rose with AMC Movie News. Don't forget, since you know Captain America the Winter Soldier is going to be amazing, we have that double feature again on the 3rd. Tickets are now available. And John Campea is at the junket right now for Cap, and I'm sure he'll have some good stories to share with us.
Let me add one thing.
Oh, and Jon Schnapp has something else to add real quick.
This Saturday, for anybody who's in Los Angeles, I'm selling a large portion of my comic book collection to do another fundraiser for my Superman Lives, the Death of Superman Lives, What Happened. So come to Meltdown from 11 to 4 this Saturday. Meltdown Comics on Sunset. It's in Hollywood. Come by 11 to 4, say hi to me. I'm selling a bunch of my toys, a bunch of my comic books, and it's all for the Superman documentary. So come on down.
Cool.
Come on down. Good stuff. All right. So yeah, be sure to share, follow, like us, go to amctheaters.com. You know the deal. We love your support. We really appreciate it. I'm Amy Rose with AMC Movie News, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.